And those kind of it shows that the robot at that point of time I was able to achieve like a fully autonomous task by the robot. But when I was observing the robot to do the tasks, especially grabbing the box and putting somewhere else, uh, instead of grabbing the box, it went on to grab like a table, and that means that the robots can make mistakes, and if nobody is observing the robot making mistakes, um, it's a challenge. So that allowed me to think more deeply, and PhD allows you to explore, especially in the early stages when you have much more freedom to think, explore, and go into like a deep research in a specific um, field of your interest. So I was able to explore and figure out there are fundamental limitations, publish a review article related to why that problems happen in the robotics. But in parallel, I was able to develop a AI software solution to solve that problem. And when I looked at the solution, it it was like a very high potential. That means that it can be applied to all kind of robots doing any kind of tasks. So so that's when I realized, okay, this should be turned into a company rather than just research, because there is a potential for more impact than directly publishing paper. So in terms of the support from the university, I have mixed feelings, but I think there was support. There is a commercialization unit or commercialization team in almost all the UK universities. So in my university, it was in Hereford, and there was a commercialization unit where they look into the fundamental research, help, and there will be enterprise executives. They look into this potential of the research into the commercialization, and then support in that regard. But beyond that, there is a very good ecosystem in the UK that facilitate the growth of the commercialization journey. For example, the first accelerator that I got into was ConceptionX. So ConceptionX is a UK-wide, now it's much broader. So it's a accelerator based in London that connects the PhD students who are having like a interesting ideas to expand the commercialization of the research. It's a 9-month part-time program, which I think is one of the best in the UK if you're a PhD or in that research field trying to explore commercial aspects. And from there was a lot of exciting elements. We got into the Venture Builder Incubator at the University of Edinburgh, and then into the London Business School Incubator, and now we got into the Silicon Valley Accelerator led by Michael Baum. So it's so far it's going good. The scientific research can lead to commercial success from the UK.
Wow, that's very amazing, Shivo, how you start your journey with your own research and how you find this problem that have the automation in the robotic field. So now let's go to Manuel. Like, yes, the question was about how you start. Like, how did you decide to turn your research into an venture, or like you can create like a entrepreneurship from that? How was the support you were receiving from British universities?
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm gonna try to explain in English and Spanish too, so I will do both. So um, I think I have to start when I did my master. Um, so I graduated mechanical engineering from Peru. I did my master in South Korea. When I was doing my master, I met many PhD students, and there was a pattern like most of their projects were theoretical. Like it was like about like it wasn't connected to industry. So that's something I didn't want to do. Like I always wanted to do a PhD, but I didn't want to, like I want a project that was related to industry. And I found many opportunities in UK, and I think in Europe, like there are many projects related to industry. So that's why I was interested. So I decided to join the project, one project in the University of Edinburgh in the Institute for Infrastructure and Environment. That I had a chance to work with some governmental company, institutions like Transport Scotland, for example. So that is how I started to feel like, okay, I think my PhD project can go to industry level, like to do a business out of my idea. So yeah, like I think University of Edinburgh has a strong focus on spin-outs. Spin-outs is like business that emerge from academic research. And in general, it has there is entrepreneurial spirit within University of Edinburgh. I think in general, like in Scotland and UK, I would say they focus more on healthcare, climate change, something related to environment, and something related to AI. If your project is something related to AI, is I would say 100% you can try to make a business out of your project. So I think UK is investing a lot of money in some projects related to AI across multiple sectors, like medicine, engineering, infrastructure, climate change, environment, social projects, like everything related to AI. UK is investing a lot of money. Robotics, for example. So I think there is a huge opportunity here in UK if you have an idea and you want to do a business from academia to from your academic experience. I think it is possible to do that in UK. So now I can explain in Spanish, or maybe not, or what do you think, Marilu?
Maybe you I don't know the audience. Do you understand our English level? Because I think most of people here are already in the UK, so you master English. So I think it's fine. Or maybe
it's fine.
If someone is not understanding, as I repeat, we can put in the more button, like the 3 dots ahead, and then you can put language and voice, o idioma y voz, y mostrar subtítulos en directo. So you can also read while is transcribing while we are talking. So it shows all the subtitles. So I think it's okay. I'm receiving good feedback that people are understanding. So it's fine. So.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you can start now, maybe Manuel telling us about how you got into the Venture Builder Incubator. You were mentioning that there are more opportunities maybe from AI or maybe from sustainable side, these kind of topics. But what type of tools do you think that you have or you present to have this acceptance in your application, and what is the program look like? What is the thing you are learning now in this incubator?
Okay, good question. Well, I started my PhD October last year, and I remember when I started, I received a lot of information about entrepreneurship programs for PhD students and postdocs, and professors too. And I was particularly interested in that program, Venture Building Incubator, but I didn't I was thinking to apply like maybe in the second or third year. I wasn't thinking to apply in the first year. But then like I was doing like a really good progress in my research. So I decided to apply to see to see how it goes actually. Because I really believe in my project, and I believe like I had a really good progress like on my idea. Like I prepared a demo and everything. So I decided to apply. After a couple of interviews, I was accepted. I think mainly because my project is like related to infrastructure, climate change, and AI. So I think those topics are really important. Like there are like AI, infrastructure, climate change is really important, like in Scotland, for example. And yeah, so I got accepted, and I started the program in October. And it was really helpful for me, like until now, because sometimes when you are from research background, explain your idea is kind of challenging to many audience, like many type of audience. You have to explain your idea in simple terms. So I think it's very challenging for me. Like, it's my personal opinion, but I think I met many people from academia that is facing the same problems. That program is really helping me to learn how to pitch my idea, for example, how to do storytelling, how to research or identify potential customers, market research, and those all those skills, like soft skills. I think it was really useful. And for example, 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, we had like a networking event. So I met a lot of people. I explained my idea. And during the process, I realized when I was meeting with more people, my idea was making more sense, if that makes sense. So I was explaining my idea. I was improving how I explain my idea, actually, when I was meeting like a lot of people. So I was kind of improving how to explain in simple terms what is my idea about. So yeah, I think that's all. Like, yeah, I think it's been good so far.
That's very nice. Yeah, always incubators help a lot how to come from an idea and to make something more feasible, like having more. You can shape more that idea and to make it more something that have sense. Like I also was a part of a program of female founders in the University of Edinburgh that have this part of Edinburgh Innovations, and they have also this incubator. And so many universities have this type of accelerator or incubators. It's just you need to go and ask or just see in the website you can access and you can know, and these are for free for the students and even the recent graduates. Normally is for free. And sometimes if it's from part of the government, like the Scottish government, it keeps for free also a different program for people that want to start a business. And it is very valuable, this. So now to Shivo, you can tell us more about, so as you said, like you start in doing your doctoral research, and from this investigation you were doing with RightScan, then you turn into your own venture. You can tell us like maybe which kind of skills from your PhD were the most useful, and what skills do you think are important to start becoming a founder and becoming very you very successful founder, like in your case, that you have scaled a lot and you have even be part of Silicon Valley Accelerator and this.
Yeah, I think so I would resonate with what Manuel was mentioning in relation to, especially when you are a researcher, we tend to think in a very different way. We tend to focus on very different aspects. Like we look at the scientific aspects much more deeply and then do like a curiosity-driven research. But along with that, we tend to explain things in a very complex manner, or like for the research papers, we have to write in a very complex manner and read those kind of papers. So our mind or the researcher's mind are usually a bit different. But when we come into this entrepreneurship and the commercial side, you will be exposed to different kinds of people. So for example, in the research, you are mostly surrounded by the scientists that already in your field. So you explain in a very different way. But as you expand your idea into a commercial direction, you will be meeting different type of people. For example, you'll be meeting lawyers, accountants, commercial people, finance people, investors, customers, and general public, right? So everyone will be understanding your idea in a very different way. So one of the main challenge or one of the main things that you will learn along the way is to convey your idea in a way that is understandable to the audience that is in front of you. And this is similar with the and this is actually one of the trainings that is provided by most of the accelerators. So one of the ways or like how we can convey our idea in the most simplified way to and I think the easiest way to make it simplify is to talk to random people that are not at all related to your own field of interest. So you'll be forcing yourself to speak in a way that the other person understands. And I think one of the specific idea that simplified RideScan is like a Fitbit for robots. And this happened when I was in networking event talking to people, right? So it just randomly came out and then it started. But in terms of other skills, there is, I think there are, I would say like entrepreneurship is hard, like in a sense, in the research, you only need to focus on specific idea and proving your idea. But in terms of the entrepreneurship, you have to navigate a bit more complex world, I would say, because you have to convey, you have to figure out how to excite the investors, also how to close the deals with the customers, and also how to inspire your team. And so that requires different kinds of skills, and I think the accelerators help in all those domains, slowly progressing towards different skill sets that we need to expand. So yeah, like it's the journey. It's I would say like the simplest one is just persistence and looking at it with a I would say there should be a meaning in what you do, and if you believe in what you do, you'll figure it out. That's how I do.
Okay, I will just pick up some questions from the public that are very interesting, and then I will continue with my own questions. And in the end, of course, everyone will have the choice and the space to also open their mic and also to talk and ask questions directly. So, for example, I found this very interesting. Like Peter said, like if you can explain a little more how the AI implementation in your project or idea, how did you incorporate this AI? I think this is for both of you, because both of you are using AI, right? So maybe you can talk a little how you're using the AI now. That is very interesting topic, and is now is everywhere AI. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
maybe Shiva, you can start.
Yeah, so for me, AI is the core. Basically, the algorithm itself is a specific AI algorithm that is a scalable system that understands the robot's behavior from an independent perspective. And that means that we can make sure that the robots are safe and reliable when they are deployed in the public. In terms of the, like, on the foundation, AI is just maths, and the way it is, so for example, I started with my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and then I did a mechatronics in master's. And so there is no like a foundational background in AI for me, but I learned by myself, directly by learning through online courses. And then in the PhD, I did the PhD in AI robotics. So basically my PhD thesis was in AI. But I think considering the resources that you already have in the public, it's very, as long as you've got the curiosity to learn, you can actually learn AI and implement it in your projects. And for RightScan, the foundation is, as I mentioned, is an AI algorithm, and then there are APIs that develops or on top of that, and then dashboards and yeah. So basically, the foundation is AI. It's a new AI that we developed in the that defines the core product.
Very nice. In your case, Manuel, how are you implementing the AI?
So, well, I think the same. Like AI is the core of my idea. So basically, so I'm working with bridges actually. So due to climate change, the lifetime of the bridges bridges are going to deteriorate faster than it was predicted before. So there is a huge problem there because of the budget from the government is not enough to cover all of those issues. So I think the like easiest way to explain that is like, so there are records of bridge inspection reports over the years, 30 years, from 1993 to 2025, right? For each bridge. So I am collecting all the data, which is text, comments from bridge inspectors, numerical data, and also picture from the inspection. So I'm collecting all the information, and AI is extracting relevant information like problems, common problems between bridges in specific areas, in specific cities, for example, with same characteristic, like for example, the length of the bridge, the material, and all those kind of things. So I'm collecting all the patterns, all the problems. I am the trends and all that stuff. So basically, it's a platform that you can interact with, that bridge inspectors can interact with, and they can extract information faster, and they can get the whole picture. How is the health of the bridge, I would say. Well, my background is not related to AI neither. Like, I studied mechanical engineering in my undergrad and mechanical engineering in my master's. My PhD is in engineering, like let's say civil engineering. But from my master's studies, I apply AI there is a field called structural health monitoring. So you are monitoring how is the health of the structure. It can be bridge, it can be any other structure, like buildings, like any other structure. So I was implementing AI to automate the process, like how the inspections, how to do the inspections in a faster way, reliable way. So yeah, basically that's my project.
That's very interesting how you're helping these bridges and these to not become so deteriorate, and you can extract this information in the platform. I wanted to know more about the they were some public that were asking about the what's like the social innovation you are like applying? Like if you maybe have, of course, this is like helping the environment. This is helping like uh, different pieces of work. Maybe you are like helping more people, but can you like describe which for you are the most important like benefits for the public from this perspective from social innovation? Maybe you can start, Manuel, and then Shivo briefly.
Yeah, I think any infrastructure is important for the healthy, like the safety of the people itself. Um, like many bridges are collapsing, and also it's for the economy of the country, because if you stop one bridge, it's like somehow it affects the economy of the country. But in terms of social, like, yeah, it's for the people safety. Not only bridges, like any infrastructure, there, like people die when one infrastructure collapses. So it's really important to, so maintenance now for any infrastructure is kind of reactive, like some crack or some problem, and the people or engineers react. But I am trying to change that mentality into not reactive maintenance. I am proposing something more proactive, but it's good for the safety of the people itself. So yeah.
Yeah, in your case, Shivo.
Yeah, so RightScan at the foundation is basically how do we ensure the safety and reliability of when the robots are deployed in public spaces, right? So I mean, it's very easy to explain. It's like through ending the Terminators. So the idea is to these robots can make mistakes, and sometimes it might be a technological mistake, but the perception will be that the robots are going rogue, or like it becomes challenging. And these are actually happening. So there are real world cases. For example, in November 2023, a human was crushed to death by a robot because it mistakenly thought human as a box of peppers. It happened in South Korea. Yeah, South Korea, yes. And in the US, there is a company, a self-driving car company called Cruise, and that company was valued at $30 billion. And there was a pedestrian walking in the road, and then human-driven car hit the pedestrian, and the pedestrian fell towards the self-driving car. And the self-driving car created a safety maneuver. The safety maneuver is dragging the human for 20 feet. So that led to the cancellation of the permit, and like the company became bankrupt within 1 year, even if it was valued at $30 billion. So it's both social and financial, like in terms of like safety, as well as making sure that these companies are able to like manage the financial risk. It's important to have this kind of independent monitoring that allows us to make sure that the human safety is at the forefront, as well as sustainable life, rather than deploying without any regulations.
Okay, so I think now it's more clear how we can like have this clarity of the ways that our venture can provide also benefits from different type of things, like from the economy of the country, or from the safety, or from the risks, reducing the risk of bankruptcy in different ventures, or even the climate change. Like we have all these topics connected, and you should like also, it's important to show which are the benefits you are providing with your solution. So now we are going to go to a blog talking about more about the funds, how and where we can find these type of funds, maybe through the incubators or accelerators. So first, to Shivo, I know that RISE can have obtained many different grants. And so maybe you can start like sharing about how did you start like choosing these type of opportunities grants opportunities. Where did you find these opportunities? Maybe there's a platform, or you go and network people. I don't know. How did you start like choosing these type of different grants? And how you start? How is the process to apply for these different incubators, and maybe to the grants itself?
Yes. So I think the simplest way is to network with people, network with like-minded people who are interested in your idea, and then build that relationships. So usually we don't know exactly when we are going to get the opportunity. So when there is a when you network more, the surface area of luck will be increased. And for me, I think one of the best accelerator was the Conception X. Basically, it's a program based in London, and they itself didn't provide the grant in the beginning. It was more about training. But they led me to connect with really interesting people, including the Michael Baum. And also, I think the first grant that I received is from from the Venture Builder Incubator, from the University of Edinburgh itself. And then I think that's one of the best in terms of like, you don't even need to register the company to start the process. It will accelerate your growth as well as fund you with the amount to ensure that you can scale your like start your business. And so after that, we got some angel investments. So basically, people who already know you, but who trust you, who believes in you, who wants to put money in terms of there are different financial instruments that facilitate investment into private companies. Right? And there are different schemes in the UK that facilitate that kind of investments through SEIS and EIS funds. Especially the investors will get some kind of tax benefits when they invest in the company. And we also received investments from outside. So basically, accelerator programs are extremely competitive, obviously. So for example, the Yope accelerator that we got in, they mentioned that there was like more than 1,000 companies from Europe and US applied, and they only select 10 companies this year, which include RightScan, and we got like a good investment from there. And then there are opportunities that you can even get from the LinkedIn. So one of the investors of RightScan is initially connected with via LinkedIn, and then we had multiple calls, due diligence calls, and then there's a process of how to, like, we need to explain your idea in a really good way, and then you need to explain how the business is growing and all the strategies, and then you should be able to receive international investments as well. And in terms of the grant, we recently received the Innovate UK grant. It's also, I would say, competitive. I still don't know why I got it. Like, it's the first apply. I mean, I applied it for the first time and we got it in the first itself. But usually it's a bit competitive. It's a way we need to explain in a way that is very convincing, as well as they score all the questions that you answer. So every question is scored by 3 to 5 independent monitoring auditors, and then they combine the score, and then they decide to provide the grant. So there is a very high threshold, like they need to answer, we need, like, depending on the application, depending on the competition, there will be like threshold of scores that you need to receive to receive the grant. But it's a good opportunity. So the grant was so Innovate UK early growth fund. I need to check again, but it's a very specific grant which is fully funded. That means that you don't need to add additional money to the grant. So usually some of the Innovate UK grants you have to top up with your own investments, but for this kind of early stage innovator funds, they provide the entire grant directly to the company. And along with these grants, this allows you to open the Innovate UK ecosystem. It's a very good ecosystem that you can be part of. Along with this kind of opportunities, we also, there are different possibilities which include the GIBP. It's like a Innovate UK process itself, but they connect the business. They select few businesses from the UK and then allow you to connect with the international business partners. So, for example, RightScan, we got into the GIBP this year for the travel to Japan to facilitate the business networking connections in Japan. So these are another type of grants which is not actually directly giving you the money, but it's more about facilitating you with all the network. So all the travel, all the expenses to visit and partner with those businesses will be provided by the Innovate UK. So there are a very good grant ecosystem in the UK. As also in the Scotland, there is a Scottish Enterprise, which is also a really good grant body that allows you to obtain research type funding that lead to commercialization results. So yeah, so these are the main ones, and yeah, it's going in the right direction so far.
Yeah, very nice. So maybe Manuel, you want to add something in this part about where did you find this type of opportunity, grants and platform that you can access to different program from incubators, accelerators, and so on?
Yeah, well, I am in the early stage, but I think Shiva also applied for the venture building incubator that I am participating now. So you can get a seed funding or early stage funding when you finish the training. So it's basically a training, and you can get funding at the end of the program. And a good way to find investors or opportunity to apply for grants, I think, is networking. For example, like, of course, you have to meet the right people at the right time, right? So, but you have to like network as much as you can, like, and we think, like, for example, in the program, I am meeting people like they know each other. So actually, because they are applying for the same funding, so you have to be in the same kind of circle, on the same bubble, and you need to know people, and people can connect to other people. For example, the last week when I participated in a networking event, I met a lot of people that they were really interested in my project. I met, for example, one lady who wasn't related to my area, like infrastructure, but her husband was related to infrastructure area sector. So she like kind of told to her husband like about my idea and everything. So you can connect to people that maybe they are not focusing, or they are not working in your area, but they can connect to other people that might be interested in your idea. So yeah, I think that's the way that you need to go. This venture building incubator is not only for Scottish universities. Also, for example, there are 2 projects for Newcastle, and the other one is from Cambridge, I guess. So it's within the UK. So it doesn't it doesn't have to be from Scotland. It can be from England too, or any other part of the UK. So it's a good opportunity. I think it's a good opportunity to start, to know people, to know how to connect, to network with people, to explain your idea. And during the process, you will get to know other opportunities. I think that's my advice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very interesting to learn how to network, and maybe you can, and just to maybe message someone you don't know on LinkedIn, like Shibo did, and he could like find some investors during these different calls. So now I'm very curious about the way you you like, how's the process itself? I know there are some forms. Sometimes they ask you to pitch your idea and to put a link in like to record yourself, and in a video you have to put the link like from this video and these things. But I don't know, for you, how was the process? Like it was many forms, different long forms, or how was the application? Like it was only one round, like just applying one stage and that's all, and you have to wait the answer, or how was all the process? And also about what do you think was the most important for you, like that made you differentiate from the other type of people that were also with applying? I know that maybe the criteria selection is from different startups are, they always look from traction, like always look from if you already have the, in which stage the MVP, you already have like clients, and if you have previous if you already are showing like you have partners and these things. But what in your case she will make you like differentiate from other people, and what were the criteria the judge were like selecting? How was this process?
Is it for any specific opportunity, or is
Maybe
it
from the Innovate UK that you mentioned.
So
Maybe
Innovate
for that
UK,
one. Mhm.
yeah, Innovate UK is very direct. You just need to apply directly through their portal. So there is an Innovate UK portal where once you register into the Innovate UK portal specifically for that specific grant application, there will be a very detailed application questions that you have to answer each of the questions in the right way. And once you submit the entire questions, we just have to wait for probably 3 to 4 weeks, and then depends on the scale of the program. Then you will get like a email mentioning whether we got selected or not. In the best way will be to get it reviewed. So your own application should be ideally reviewed by people who have got the Innovate UK grant, or someone who is part of some kind of a business network. So we have like if you are part of this in Scotland, there is like a business gateway, and then the Scottish Enterprise, and then Innovate UK growth team and things like that. So there are ecosystem support that you can utilize to get it reviewed, and then you submit, and then keep your fingers crossed. Yes. Yeah.
Great. And in case of job, that's from the US, right? Accelerator.
No, I was mentioning about the Innovate UK. For the US.
No. Yeah. I want to hear about the other that I think is more competitive.
The US?
Yeah, from the US as well.
Yeah, so it was, I would say, like there's a lot of serendipities in a sense. In March, the Conception X team just reached out to me mentioning that Michael Baum wants to meet me. And then I checked his profile and looks like he's a billionaire. I don't know why he wants to meet. So I booked the flight to London. It was just a chat, like a 1 hour chat. He was we were not even prepared with the slide decks, but we had a chat and then he asked me to pitch and then we had a call, we had the discussion, and then he introduced me to this accelerator Yoke, and then I had to apply after that. I had to go through like a process of application, and then after 1 month, in as part of the process, I had to record the video applications, and then also like I showed the demo of RightScan implemented on the real robot and at the National Robotorium and to them. And after 1 month, they selected, and then we initiated the program within 2 months, and they put the money even before the course, even before their accelerator program starts. So they are US is really fast in terms of the money stuff. Yeah.
Wow, that's very amazing how you did all this. How could you like find all these grants and wow. So Manuel, in your case, like you are in more early stage, but you can also maybe share with us about how you apply for the Venture Builder Incubator. You can say which were the main factors that make you like be selected.
Well, yeah. First, I fill out a form. So they ask you about your idea, the problem, the objective, and many other things. So I fill out the form, and after that, I got an email to have an interview with 4 or 5 people, and I had to pitch my idea in 3 minutes and 7 minutes for Q&A, like questions and answer. And during the pitch, I just explained my idea, the problem behind my idea, what are my, if there is any competitor in the market, which is really important too. But I think the most important thing when you are pitching an idea, well, I had a prototype back at the time, which was really important, I guess, for the decision. But also like, I think they have to notice like you are really convinced in what you are doing, like you are really passionate about, that you really care about your product, like you have like a feeling for that you are building. I think that's very important, and also because it was related to AI and climate change and infrastructure, I think that was another plus. And after I pitched my idea, they asked me a bunch of questions related to my project, like, well, I was working with Transport Scotland when I pitched my idea. So they asked me if Transport Scotland told me something related to, is there any similar tool in the market? So I mentioned that Transport Scotland told me like they really need that tool, and there is no such tool in the market. So I think that was another plus for me, because they knew like, okay, there is some potential, right? And so I think those, like, you can have an idea, but you have to do your research market. You have to be really interested and really passionate about your idea. And I think those are the most important things that you have to express to when you pitch your idea.
Yeah, so being very convinced and passionate about what you are building. That's very very nice, and be very perseverant as well. So we're just for my last question, and then we can go to the audience so they can also ask their questions. So for this is a very important questions. I also read in the comments below that some of us, like, we are already like graduated, like I finished my master's, and we are looking for different ways to stay in the UK. So for people that are like innovators like you guys, how can we like shift the student visa to the innovator founder visa? How is the process, and what different opportunities give to you comparing to maybe graduate visa? That's the normal like visa people take as the next step. So maybe Shivo, you can share more about this. In case of Manuel, he's still studying, but in your case, you already graduated from your PhD and you are already are behind this type of visa. So you can maybe share how is the process and what's the benefit you can have.
Okay. So the good thing about the innovator founder visa is that you can even switch to the innovator founder visa while you are doing PhD. So I did switch even before my student visa ends. I did it in like the third year. It was mainly yeah, as long as you got the idea, as long as you got the clarity on the execution and the objectives, or like what you are going to do in the next 3 years, then it's possible to switch. But there are 3 criteria they usually look is the innovation, scalability, and viability. So you have to prove in all 3 sites, like why your idea is innovative, why your idea is scalable, why your idea is viable. So it's again like it's a time-consuming process, but as long as you explain things in a very clear manner and provide the logical reasoning to all the things that you're doing, I think it's possible. And the other part is that the innovation aspect, I think they usually check really yeah, they look at the innovation and then also the business plan or business strategy, how we are building the team. It doesn't need to be like a team as such, but you need to have some kind of idea how you're building the team, also how you are going to get the customers, or how you are already talking to customers, or like some kind of an indication towards the commercialization and the viability of the business. And also some indication towards the funding landscape, potentially like some investors expressing interest, or like LOIs, or like some kind of indications will also help. So the benefits for the innovator founder visa is that you can start the business, you can run the business, you can work in another company in parallel, or you can run multiple businesses, as long as the business that you are running is as per planned. And there are very less limitations to this innovator founder visa. And also, like, if you are planning to stay in the UK longer, there is a possibility that you can get the PR in 3 years than the 5 years or the other. So yeah, overall it's a very good visa, and I think you can switch the visa after 2 years in the PhD as well. So yeah, like, I mean, I think it's a really good visa, but along with that, you can also explore the global talent visa, which also I would say is not even tied to the business itself. You can actually yeah, you can actually, there's no even criteria related to business for the visa, right? So there are two alternatives which you can explore.
Okay, and for the innovator visa you mentioned is for 3 years, right? They
Yes.
give time for 3 years, and after the 3 years you can renovate and again have another 3 years, or how it evolves.
Either you can renovate or you can apply for the PR, like the indefinite leave to remain, ILR.
Oh, very interesting.
I think the residency visa, right? You can apply after 3 years, and you can get like the
Citizenship. Yeah.
the
Yes.
residency visa. Yeah.
Residency. Okay, that's very interesting. So yes, for my closing, and then we can go to the public questions. To wrap up, maybe you can share a piece of advice about how you can start for people that maybe here not all are like doing PhD. Some of people are like exploring different opportunities. Some of them are in Peru, they want to apply for the UK. Maybe next year they're going to study, and people that are already there, maybe some of them just finished like me, the masters. So how like we can start if we maybe have an idea but we don't know how we can continue and how we can take this first step. So which main step do you think are the important ones to start with? Shivo, maybe you can start, and then Manuel.
Yeah, so if you are coming to UK as a student, I think the best way will be to connect with your university commercial ecosystem. So almost all the universities will have a commercial wing or like a commercial section that you can tap into. So there is like some kind of a entrepreneurship support group or support system that you can tap into that allow you to start the networking from there. But if you are directly applying from outside, I think you just need to make sure the business plan and the things are very solid. It contains all the criteria that are needed. One of the key elements I would say is to differentiate your product in the market, especially how your product in the UK will benefit the UK economy, right? So that's the foundational criteria they will look at, and it should be different enough such that there is not much that kind of idea in the UK. But if your idea is in the UK, then it will be very beneficial to the UK economy and then globally. Yes, to start with, if you're coming directly to the university ecosystem, but otherwise, having this kind of a networking sessions or attending this kind of networking sessions that you are already attending today, or some along these lines, then start from there. Yeah, like I mean, if you really believe in your idea, you just need to like persist. It will take time.
Great, Shivo. Great advice. Now let's move to Manuel. You can start sharing some advice.
Well, I think well, from my personal experience, so I decided to move to another country from 2020, and it was challenging at the beginning. It wasn't easy. So I think start to build your own, like starting to like if you want to start to build your own brand, I would say you have to work hard because I mean when you are a foreigner or you are studying abroad, it's like you have to like kind of sell yourself, your academic background and everything. And I think like the advice I would say is like, if you have any idea, like it doesn't matter you have like you think the idea is not convincing, like maybe you have many like a lot of possibilities, a lot of ideas, and maybe you are like oh, but maybe that idea will not convince to people, right? Maybe it's not the right idea. I don't know. I think you have to try and you have to get experience. And you can fail at the first time, but you can do better at the second time. So it's like you have to keep trying, try to, I don't know, step outside your bubble, your own comfort, and try to like go for it. If you are from an academic background as me, sometimes we are like, it's hard to move from the academic background to the real world, I would say. It's really hard to transition because you are always speaking, as she will say, you are always speaking with professors, with researchers in your topic, in your field. And we are shy to discuss to maybe, I don't know, investors or lawyers or whatever, because maybe we are too technical and maybe they don't understand our idea or our project. But you
The song.
sorry, can you hear me?
Yes. But I think it was silent like some minutes. The
Yeah.
last minute.
Yeah, my earphones. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, just step outside your own comfort and just go for it and try, and you will improve, and then you can get many other ideas. Like when you, for example, when I met people in the incubator, I explained my idea, but some people suggest me like why, like some different ideas, and then I was like, oh, actually that's true. I mean, I didn't focus on that, but I think it's actually a good idea, or it's actually a good question. So yeah, in networking, meeting with people, try and work hard, I think is the best advice I can give for people who are studying abroad and try to start a business or like find a job here or whatever.
Perfect. So now we have the time for the audience to ask their own questions. We received some from Victor and Elizabeth. Maybe you can open your mic and ask directly your questions, Victor or Elizabeth. I think Janina also writes something.
Yeah, I saw questions in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to explain like the guys that have questions. Elizabeth raised her hand. You can go ahead, Elizabeth.
Hi, thank you very much for this webinar. It was very useful. So I'm oh hi. Hello, thank you very much for your time. And this information was super useful. So I'm also working on my idea to start my startup. And I have some questions. So for Shivo, the for the Innovate UK grant, did you have to have your company registered or just with idea was enough?
Yeah, we have to be like the company need to be registered. Actually, one of the reasons I switched to the innovator founder visa even before my student visa ends was because I need to get a specific grant that we were part of. But that grant I couldn't get because I couldn't register the company on time. So yeah, we need to have the company registered to get some of the government fundings.
Okay. And also for this same visa, I was doing some research. It says that you need your endorsing body, right? Was it your university in this case?
No, so from the last year, the UK government have specifically defined there are 4 official endorsing bodies, and only those 4 official endorsement bodies can endorse innovator founder visa. So it is directly accessible in the innovative, like the government, UK government website. And there is 4 endorsing bodies. I applied through the Investor. So there's one called ENVESTOR, Investor.
Investor Limited, right? I'm just in the website. Yes, I'm looking for it. Okay. Okay, great. Then I will need to apply for some of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for your question. Maybe someone else wants to ask. We can pick up from the comments then. So Victor, he asked about what are the opportunities after completing the PhD in terms of doing a career in industry in the UK. As most schemes normally ask for hands-on experience, how do you meet these requirements and be a competitive candidate? I don't know, maybe Shivo, that you already completed your PhD.
I mean, for me, I think I didn't bother applying. I mean, I was too focused on RightScan, so I just didn't apply to any jobs. I directly went full. Especially because I had like a co-founder, so he also quit the job to join RightScan in that sense. So we had to. I mean, I was fully focused on RightScan, so there was no. There is no specific advice that I think I can provide, but overall, what I was observing from the outside is that as long as you can convey your PhD skills in a way that is convincing to the industry, for example, the communication skills as well as the for example, you went to the conference, the way you communicated, the kind of soft skills along with your technical elements potentially can help in terms of the transitioning to the industry. And also like trying to pick the specific jobs that are aligned in that related field would also accelerate that process. And in terms of the hands-on experience, I think in my PhD, I did like a internship with a company or a startup in the UK. And it was really useful for me to understand the industrial ecosystem in the UK. So if you can find like a part-time UK company experience while you're doing a PhD, that can accelerate the process in the job market, I would say. And also like one of the other elements is like when you go to some conferences, there will be industry people. So for example, in my case, I was accepted to like present some of the findings at the Oxford for a conference, and during the conference there are companies like Amazon, Google DeepMind, all of them will be there. And then if you talk to them, there is this kind of introductions, soft introductions they can provide to the closer field. So for example, like I was able to network with the Google DeepMind, who invited or tried to schedule a call to the New York-based section where they are more looking at the safety aspects of the robotics systems, right? So I think networking while you are going for the conferences will also be something that you can make yourself competitive.
Yeah, that's very important. Networking. Most of people like find jobs like just doing this, and there is one event that is coming soon. That is, I will put in the on the chat. Scottish Edge. They're gonna give like some awards, like the live final round for this year. Basically, a lot of startups, the finalists, they are pitching their ideas and they will receive the award and the grants there. So this is the grants coming from the Scottish Edge. So people that are in the UK, this is one of the big events in startup ecosystem. You can network because big, um, I think like big companies and all people important that in the entrepreneurship ecosystem, they will come. So if you're a student, you can go for free. If you are like you're already graduated or already working, you have to buy your ticket, but it's not that much. I think it was 10 pounds. So this is a good opportunity. So Bree, you can ask your question.
Hi guys, thank you for organizing this. I'm Bri Melchor, and thank you for the information you bring, Shipo Manuel. My question is for Manuel. Maybe I'm missing, but I prefer to ask. You mentioned about your own brand? I wonder if this is something that you're planning before to arrive here. This is something that you could build over here. The University of Edinburgh have some seminars I heard, but I never took. But I'm interested about to do that. So, do you have any advice to start? Of course, I know, as you said, you need to work hard, but maybe most specific things at someone that doesn't know anything about that. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, I came to the UK with that in mind. That I want to do a business out of my PhD project. But actually was I got many emails actually. Well, I am from the engineering department. I don't know which department are you? Like, are you a University of Edinburgh student or not?
Yes, and still in my last year, I'm biologist.
Okay. So you can search from Edinburgh Innovations or the Bay Center, and I follow them on LinkedIn and they are posting like events and many opportunities. Not only like the one I apply, they are posting many others. But yeah, like I wasn't expecting to apply in my first year, to be honest. I was aiming to apply in my second and third year because, well, I wasn't sure like to to be good enough, I would say. But I applied in my first year because my progress on my PhD was good. So I prepared a demo and had many meetings with some government agencies from in Scotland and UK. And they told me like my idea was good. There is no something like similar in the market. And then I decided, okay, I think I need to apply for those incubators within Edinburgh. And yeah, like I think I saw on LinkedIn like 2 weeks before the deadline, and then it was like easy. It was just to fill a form, like your idea, your problem, your objective, and everything. But there are many others, like for example, I think they post something last week related to biotech. So maybe you're interested. I will just share the link in the group chat. But it's related to biotech, So it's for PhD students,
Jesus.
postdocs, and professors too, I guess. It's like you can just pitch your idea or something like that, and then you can get some training and funding. But yeah, actually, it was something I had in my mind. So I looked for opportunities within the university, and I found Edinburgh Innovations, a Base Center, and I follow them on LinkedIn. And then like they post like events, opportunities. So I was like follow them, and then yeah. So that's something that I did. Yeah.
Thank you. I think those links it will be helpful. Thank you very much.
I just
Yeah.
want to add that if you're from Edinburgh Uni, then for female founders, we have some programs, but it's more for having the training, not the grants. But they sometimes they also launch some these type of opportunities for applying for grants. So for the training, is basically like Power Her Up. There is this program that comes. I think they have like one or two cohort. No, it's annually one cohort each year. Like now, I think in December they will open. For next year, they start from January. I think was like mid-January till mid-March. It was like 8 weeks. So we have all this space to basically be trained in different skills and also have on-site different talks with startup founders, also female, and everything is for free. You have to be a student or a 2-year recent graduate. That's the maximum time. And they don't give grants, but they give all the training. Also, I put in the chat the Accelerate Her that is also for Scotland. So they also for this you need to apply. For the other, the Power Her Up, you also need to apply, but it's very basic and small form. So you just put it's for early stage. You even don't have to have the sales. It's just idea and maybe some traction you need to put. But if you already have the venture built, even traditional ones, because in my cohort we have like some traditional ventures like jewelry or some coffee shops. They don't have more innovation on this, but they still have like it's a venture and it's a female founder, so these were only the requirements, and they give you all the training for free. And then if you continue going to these events, the coordinator she shared with us different opportunities, and some of them they could give grants. Some people in my cohort, like there is one girl that she won different grants. Yeah, so you have these different opportunities in Scotland. So I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you for the
Bri.
information.
Yeah, so I don't know, guys, if anyone else wants to ask something. Otherwise, we can open our cameras and we can have the final photo for this webinar. I don't know if someone else wants to ask something, or we can open our cameras and be very grateful to our speakers from today, Shivo and Manuel, that they are connecting late because now in the UK is almost 10, I think. Almost 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share my LinkedIn. If you have any questions or just feel free to ask me and I will share information because at the moment I cannot find them. But if you send me a message, I will just share, like I will just try to find the information and I will just send it, like links or everything.
Yeah, so thank you for the people that are opening cameras, like Elizabeth, Peter, Bri. I don't know the other guys. But maybe Christian, Felipe, Janina, Rolando, Shadia, Jose, Lucia, Victor. Okay, Manuel, he's sharing his LinkedIn. Shivo, maybe you also, now you have more Peruvian friends, Shivo, because when we met each other, Shivo said to me, "You're my only Peruvian friend." And now you have more and more friends. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for being with us. So I'm going to count the countdown: 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, this is the first shoot. Let's try another one. Maybe the ones that cannot open the camera, they can react. They can react with some emojis here. I don't know, you can react, you can put heart, or I don't know. So next countdown: 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Manuel and Shivo. And let's keep in touch.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for the
Thank you,
invitation.
guys.
And see you in on my
you.
graduation, please. Come.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye-bye.